Well, here we are at the end of a 2-day outreach in London. You find us in just coming by Leicester Square, walking back to the station, to Charing Cross Station. Been a very busy 2 days. We've been giving tracts out, and James has been doing an awful lot of research and filming of King James and Elizabeth and of that exciting period. But I couldn't go back without mentioning Edith Cavell. Now, I wrote about her some years ago, and this is the famous statue, of course. I just feel I ought to say a few words, because this woman was a true patriot. Not only was she a true patriot, she was a wonderful Christian who read her Bible daily. She never married. She was completely dedicated to nursing, to caring for the sick and everyone else. And she had a little dog who went everywhere with her. This really speaks for itself. She was executed in Brussels in 1915. She had been helping escape British prisoners of war to get back, and she was arrested by the Germans. Some say she was betrayed, I'm not sure, but either way, she didn't buckle. She read her Bible and she was executed in 1915. But what a woman, what a patriot. Couldn't we use someone like this today when we see what's happening to the country? Edith Cavell was a senior nurse in Manchester, and then she came down into London, then she went across to Europe in the First World War. A very devout lady, and didn't she suffer for that, with the crude remarks by the other nurses there, who upset her frequently whenever they could, but they never got to her, and she always forgave her enemies. But this is what it says here: patriotism is not enough. Patriotism, there's that word, you don't hear it much now. I must have no hatred or bitterness for anyone. And there she is, Edith Cavell. When this came back to England, the King of England then, I think it might have been George, but forgive me if I've got it wrong, George V, came here to unveil this. It was a day of mourning in England. The newspapers had red margins round them this morning for this woman who'd been killed by the Hun, killed by the Boche. They wanted to be here for this. And where we're standing now, you can see this crowds here, people going back to work and so forth. But there were crowds here, apparently, what I read, going way back to Charing Cross Station, which is way in the distance there, because they wanted to be here to remember Edith Cavell. I've written about her, I've researched her. We were very fortunate, James and myself, to find a plaque that had been put up in her memory, and a builder was demolishing the building, and he came across this brass plaque, and he saved it from the crushers and so forth, and we were able to find that and able to film it. It's a wonderful brass plaque commemorating this woman. Wonderful Christian, born again, did what she could, but she loved the Lord, and she suffered for it in her profession from other nurses, and she suffered for it by what happened to her by the Germans. Wonderful woman, a patriot, humanity, and you can see it there, for king and country, way at the top. Bless you, Edith Cavell, bless you for all that you did for England, for the Bible, and for our blessed Lord. This is Patrick Patel in London, getting ready to go back to Manchester tomorrow. We've been here for 2 days, we've done a lot of filming. We thank you for your prayers and support, blessings, and Maranatha.